some quotes, some haikus, get the stress when you. We going on. We on Facebook. We on Facebook Live. What's up, everybody? What's up? 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 1 minute. 1 minute countdown. I want to see some snaps right now. Let's get some snaps right here. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm back. I'm talking about having a host for 4 years.
We're live, y'all.
All right, we ready? We on live?
We are ready to go.
Are we ready? Jay-Z, I'm sorry, fam, but I'm going to just cut you off because I want no copyright. Yo! Good luck to all my readers. Good luck to all my futures. This is special. Tonight, we want to breathe, exhale, and encourage. This is your night to breathe. Are we ready? Jay-Z, I'm sorry, fam, but I'm going to just cut you off because I want. Somebody say something? All right, good. So everybody, let's get good. Let's get flow. Let's get hustle. Let's get dream. Welcome to my mouth open mic poetry reading. What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Yo. Now, my mouth is all about strong diversity and culture. We are a team. We're trying to give you guys a platform to read poetry. Black matter poets really strong matter. As Black social justices, Black readers, Black cultures, Black businesses, Black teachers, Black educators, poets. Ooh. I just want you guys to really feel what you're about to bring tonight, what you're about to honor yourself. So I'm going to break down the guidelines, the community guidelines right now. The chat is open to anyone. Keep it love, peace, and harmony. All your negative stuff, shoot to the door, okay? We keep it love, peace, and harmony. We do not discriminate. We do none of that. So if I see that, I got my host Maya and Arthur. They are watching the chat. They keep it in peace. If they see one negative, you're blocked, you're done. There's the door. Rush to the door, everybody. Number 2. N-word. I don't even care if you're Black. We don't use it. Chill down the profanity. We on Facebook Live. Children is watching this. We don't say N-word. Substitute to something different. If sisters, you just say that brother ain't no good or that man no good. You gotta know how to substitute your words. You know it. So let's keep that profanity, the N-word, locked down, easy. Can we say yeah? Can we nod with me? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Whew. Number 3, poets, readers. This platform is for you. I want you to really take the energy, the love, the stress, the anxiety, the sweat in your palm, your finger. I just want you to just bring it, because I want to hear your words. I want to hear your words tonight. Can we give me a thumbs up for that? Good. That's what's up. So we have a good thing already. Like I said, we have the chat. You see the reactions. You can play with it. You can say wave at me, or you can use the thumbs. Or we can clap. Or we can do the SL, we can snap virtual. Keep that energy. I want to see everybody video so the viewers can see you, so they can have that energy, and we get that energy right back to them. I know we're not in a cafe, we're not in the theater, we're not in the venue, but that's okay. Just imagine you were performing right here in that cafe with your favorite latte, your favorite tea, whatever you love to drink when you read poetry. This is your night. All right. Are you feeling this next? This first read, say yeah. All right. So my hostess is Maya right there. Arthur is right there. Give some love and some support to Ruth, Christopher, and Damika. That's my team members. So before we get to first read, I want you guys to do something with me. Take an extra breather and exhale. Take another one. Let's get those all that negative energy, that dirt off your shoulders. Take another one. And exhale. For this, are you guys ready for the first read? Give me a snap. Give me a snap right now. This man, I'm looking at, I saw the Google Docs. This man, this brother right here, have the biggest jug I never seen on the live. This brother right here was sick. He about to read it. He about to feel it. So I want you to get some love right now. Per Miles, Hars, everybody. Get some love out there. Let me make sure I can unmute you. Miles, my Miles. Eric Davis. Oh, you unmute yourself. All right, my brother. The floor is yours.
Okay, I'm going to start with another poem about river. Found the flow 100 years ago, fed 1,000 men and washed their feet, marveled at the power to flood, and remember clean sandals unweighted from streets. My work, given or chosen, to curve and gleam in front of you. Come low, sweet chariot, to my edge. Still, I'll show you how I see, reflecting that you'll be. Carry on to avoid the swell, holy note, your lyrical pledge. The source pours in to sustain my rush, singing reeds never dry, waiting your return, wondering who fills your flask, afraid to ask on the other side of knowing all currents burn. Sweet delta-kissed feet on either side, swallowing pebble, rock, and shore, bubbling forth with aquatic devotion. And I'm gonna read this next one. This one is called Olim is a Proper Name. Grid-struck dandy walks and rides lines of city, invisible fingers lace over body grooves, brown instrument. Rounds of bedside records and old voices rise as a new one tears hair across strings, rubbing the aria over stained water, sewing his part into the chorus, black bees humming of honey, coating throats of shut-ins, ears bound to notes that addict. Caution the electric buzz, one tip said to addict, first take. Lines drop and whip and lash to unthread the city from old songs dribbling salvation. Taste honey, gold-tipped fingers tracing hairy bellies, the true instruments, top drum tops washed, dried, and stretched over water, turned upside down, change drops empty of silver tears. Certainly they tried, but of source he'll never tear, and more names rub off, pleaser, baby, perfect addict. Peeling letters like skin or scales or sticky insults. Water draining from doors, shut to dream-ending lies, city writing. Where does he go carrying that instrument? Rest, rest, fumbling bow, splitting string, expanding honey. Tomorrow I'll show you how to roast with honey filling every bone while hers are showing. Tears won't malign the bees' dance. At home is an instrument, and the canto is a song, is a feast for the addict to eat and reach the bed made of it. In cities lie ash, dry, and cracked scales underwater. Swallow the fizz to dislodge street sludge after water has run lines over sweet and high cheeks, kisses of honey. What is this Olim you speak from dreams? Some body, some city. Commands and questions worth less than promises still break, still tear open possibilities impossible to pass. Or back to the addict, where there are those, whatever, wherever, chewing the instrument. And high cheeks, kisses. The last two are, I'm gonna leave you with two of my boys. The first is Butterfly, and the second and final is Bottom. Twisters formed over Kansas from pinched shoulder blades, lifting wings. Two hands pulled down and splayed weight on plains below, accustomed to a particular sipper's pricking prod, depositing ink, dark and sticky to touch. 3 washings till the scabs peeled and pink unpigmented flesh revealed scrambled letters that spelled destination in your veins. Monarch wings mark the road leading south. The handful we had are either dead or gone. And this last one. Under the magnolia, Your locks catch fallen petals, naked by the lake, ringing plates over a copper bowl to extract their milk, pouring aroma into the bath you drew for him. Soothe and sing for him an old victory song about a hero who shares his name. When he slips into light dreams and the water turns cold, dig fingers into the soft soil, steal summer's harvest during silent spring. Little thief, sly cat, prostrate between the collards and red okra stalk. Take seeds from this plot to put in your own chicken wire lot.
Yo, Miles, you just dropped it like it was hot. You start off the night, Sean. Who is Miles? Give me some love to Miles, everybody. Woo. Man, Miles, man, I love you, brother. I love you. Just next poet. And on deck, we want us to get ready for our feature. But she's on deck right now. Our feature's on deck. But this one right here, I want to hear her. She's been a strong supporter. I want you guys to give some love for Martina, everybody. Get some love for Martina, everybody. Get some love for Martina. Martina, can you unmute yourself? I think I got this. Can you meet Martina, my hostess? Yeah, here we go, Martina. The floor.
Thank you. The first one is called Tell the Children. Mom, tell the children why they're taking from their parents. Because people with no sense make those decisions. But Mom, do people make decisions that make no sense? Because they can't think better than that. Mom, why are children put in cages? Adults make decisions without thinking. But Mom, don't they have children of their own? I'm sure they do, dear. Why are they not in cages then? Cages are reserved for immigrant children only. But why, Mom? That's neither fair nor right. I feel your rage, but have no answers for you, dear. If Mom can't answer that, who will? I can show you how to call your senators and representatives, and you can tell them how you feel and to set the children free. I don't know what that means, but please show me. Show me how, Mom, and I will do it. We will call Senator Kamala Harris and Dianne Feinstein. Who else can we call, Mommy? Who else? We'll make a list and go from there. Let's make the longest list ever, Mommy. Okay, but let's first think about what we want to say. I know what to say. Dear Senators, my name is Jose Full of Dreams. I'm calling to ask you and all senators and representatives to ask your jefe to set all children and other immigrants free and to let immigrants traveling in caravans seek asylum in this country of immigrants because we are the ones who have and will continue to make this country great. I really need help from you to take care of this ASAP, Senator. Would you help? Gracias y que Dios nos bendiga a todos. Is this okay, Mom? Is this okay? Great minds think alike. It's wonderful, but does it make sense? It makes perfect sense. Maybe I should talk to the person who put our children in cages. Sounds great to me, but can we write a letter? Let's make our phone calls first. I need to warm up. No more caravans. Capitalism. Stay out of other countries and let people live in peace. Libertad para los niños y todos los inmigrantes. Libertad para la humanidad. Next. This one. This one is called For Whom the Bullets Wound. The world is facing a pandemic, but some people don't need a virus to stare death in the face, except if they are white. Those who obey the law are under lockdown, only leaving home to get the most essentials, lest they get hunted down for jogging, while others are armed to the teeth. Many defy stay-home orders and protest on the streets, demanding the economy reopen so they can get a manicure. because the virus don't see white. When it isn't a stray bullet or a cop going fist crazy, some folks just can't escape death from the worst of the pandemic, and it's all because of color. Okay, next. Speaking up for freedom. Only the privileged few dare walk around with assault weapons and demand the right to freedom from orders to stay home. Some of us have stayed home for months, not even going to the doctor because we want to keep others safe so we can one day hug again. Our spirits are getting crushed, but we know we must persevere and not act so selfishly to keep our loved ones alive. Those who pretend to speak up for freedom only want to take power away and intimidate with their weapons those who obey the law. These pseudo citizens are nothing but insecure little stinkers causing trouble everywhere because they're protected from the top. These fake patriots had better stop spreading fear with their weapons, or they'll be crying foul when they have to bury their grandparents. Last one. Light or gray? Light or gray? I wake up in the morning and look out the window. The sky greets me gray. No, thank you. Ugh. I pull the curtain open. Gray puffs out the window. A weak light takes its place. That's much better, thank you. I don't need heavy gray when I can carry light. Is that it?
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Get some love to Martine, everybody. Get some love right there. All right. All right. Are you ready? Martine, how you feeling right now? Just to tell you.
Sorry?
How you feeling?
A little weird.
Oh, what? Tell me why weird?
Stuff, family stuff.
Ah, much love. We're gonna send you all the loves and prayers to you, Martina. Don't worry, don't weird feelings. It's okay. We're all weird in our own sense of way. Okay, I'm weird. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you straight out. I'm the weirdest person on this Zoom. Okay, we all somebody else. Jenny's weird. I'm weird. We got a lot of weirdness folks out here, but the weirdness is the coolest people. I like weird. You see, my feel me on that one. So, thank you, Martino, your blessings of the mic. It's okay. Don't worry about being weird. So, all right, everybody. All right. This next one, she's our feature reader, but I want to read something about her. Just want to read a little clip on her. Kayla is from the New Orleans Navy. She has been studying and writing poetry for the last 15 years. She graduated to Lusher Charter High School, Xavier University of Louisiana, sang in English State, acquiring her PhD in English and University of Florida, have been displaced during the Katrina, but later migrating to cities. Her education and for her poetry and writing from her home. Charming and about her own community and the landscape of family and water. She is have an author of swinging at home. Whoa, Kayla, she got all of it right there. She's ready. So Kayla, it's our feature reader every night. I want you to snap like Tupac is about to come in on this Zoom meeting. I want you to snap like Beyonce's say single ladies up in here. I want you to snap that 50 Cent about to drop the club on me here. I want you to feel this mic for our future reader. Kayla, the floor is yours.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
We doing good.
That's a good introduction. I haven't been introduced like that before. It feels good. Like Tupac. I like that. So I'm gonna start tonight with some new stuff. Then I'm gonna go to some of my stuff in my book. I'm gonna go back to the new stuff tonight. That's how I'm gonna guide y'all through my work this evening. So I wanted to start y'all with this piece that I wrote called Lingual Defiance that is being published at some point in the near or distant future. We know how literary magazines work. So sometimes it's a set date, sometimes it's an up in the air date, but it's out there eventually. So this poem is called Lingual Defiance. I added a little edit, especially for a recent event, but Lingual Defiance. My ancestors mangled your language like you mangled their bodies. They tripped over words that tasted like the Atlantic Ocean on their tongues, words that suffocated them from the inside. They were drowning in your language, so they kept their own and anchored to the land you stole them from, as long as you would allow. Then you beat them until they threw up a native lexicon word vomit spilling to the dirt around their feet. They swallowed your language even though it killed them slowly. You told me I am not qualified to teach remedial English, that I do not have the right education with which to grapple with the conjugation of your verbs. But what you don't understand is that I come from 200 plus years of wrestling with English. So who would know better how to withstand the violence of your language? It's door, not dough. It's floor, not flow. It's ignorance, not ignorant, but it's my talent is about to get so ignorant all up in this doom. Ain't a word. 140 tongue lashings tried to cut the ebonics out my throat. Instead, my tongue became double jointed, bending between the Queen's English and the syntax of a people who say baby with the long A. You heard me? You said, I am not qualified to teach remedial English, but I think you're just mad. I found the crip walk in your words. Mad I've been able to magnolia clap over your syllabic, and there you sit still speaking on the 1 and 3 when the real music is on the 2 and the 4. We turned your ugly language into a song you can't sing. Shit. I'd be mad too. Sorry about that language, but I gotta throw my curse words up in there. They're already written in the poem. All right. So this is my book. It's available on Amazon. This is also my really I picked up my editor's copy, but that's all good. There are copies that don't say not for sale on it. So you can find them. Go to my publisher's website first, because Jonathan, I really want to push him. He's a great publisher. He's done a lot for me. He really made this happen. He's a great local indie publisher. But the book is sold through Amazon. So, but still go check out Jonathan at Unlikely Books. So this poem is called Making Groceries. It's one of the first poems that I wrote at San Diego State University. I think Kevin was there that year when I workshopped this one. Yeah. So I'm gonna read another one of the Kevin poems tonight as well. Making groceries. 2-day-old French bread for pudding. Chopped seasoning, bay leaves, lump crab meat, smoked sausage, and hot sausage. Gumbo boils over tops of pots, splashes onto stoves that brew dark as Mississippi water. City streets reek of vodka, morality overtaken by absinthe, rum rivers rushing through the quarters. Les le bon temps roulé, gliding down the avenue, sending shining beads flying to the atmosphere, shooting stars that land in trees, purple, green, and gold gilded moss. The Creole queen whose blood is the history of the victor, mama passe, daddy paperback brown, jazz music clashing, bashing, banging, and clanging through your ears and into the crevices of your brain, anxious flapping in the air like doves as umbrellas bob through your cerebral cortex. The sky screams, its water breaks, washing the city clean. Black bodies bump like logs in the floodwaters. Fish jump over fish, jump over fish, jump over Miss Johnson's little boy who slipped over his roof into the 9 feet. If I heard this big boom and all his water started rushing in. Generational ownership of the ghettos. The tapping of crushed big shot cans on brick roads meet the child's wildly moving feet. Old tree roots like serpents break up the concrete. Bullets fall down like ash on Pompeii. crawfish scream in boiling waters, the baby bump of the Mississippi, history connected by fishing lines, the boom, boom, boom of open palms on Congo drums in Congo Square, dirty chained feet dance in the Africa of their psyches, the ever-smiling voodoo doll in the fire pits, a lemonade huckabuck or maybe a hucklebuck or maybe a hucklebuck dripping down a child's wrist in the calliope, red beans and rice Mondays, pickled meat stewing over the fire, beignets covered in blow lead to sweet dreams of etouffee and psychedelic raindrops. The saxophonist waits on the riverbanks to meet his muse in the twilight. The pregnant king cake swollen with cinnamon and regeneration. Whoever finds the baby buys the next one. Red light district dancing under gas lamps on bourbon. The moon pie yellow messiah of night moseys through the music-filled sky, weeping for the crescent city, Pauline sweet summers filled with strawberry fumes. Alligator meat melts on the taste buds. An axe, a pound of pecans, a pound of shrimp, a cup of community coffee to wash it all down. This next one is called Musings from the Condo Hood. Little white boys play with toys that little black boys can't. Plastic rifles waving along the skyline as congregated packs crowd the night. They are safe in the condo hood where white houses and white skin blend, become smooth and palatable, where any little black dot sticks out a stain on America's work shirt. Black mamas stand on porches like lifeguards presiding over the sea. Their fanny packs full of declarations why the police should spare their child one more time. The street lights, a flickering countdown to when all the little black boys need to make their way inside, to when all the little white boys parade through the streets wearing safety like a second skin. This one's called Tangled, and I'm just getting used to reading poems about sex in front of my mom. My mom's on this Zoom, by the way. Hey, Mom, how you doing? She should be used to it by now. I think this is like the second or third time. So, you know, there you go. This one's called Tangled. Coffee skin glows in the dark. I drink it like I need to wake up. You play between my legs, pianist fine notes that vibrate in my vocal cords. My nails dig into your back, searching for diamonds. Love, I gravitate towards your scent in the night, a sunflower following your light across the bed. Your tongue is an oyster rolling a pearl around its shell. Each finger, a serpent curling around my breast. Leave rose gardens across my skin, plant it with your teeth. Tangle yourself in my limbs. I'll release you in the morning. This next one is called Crawfish Season 2013. We talk about seasons. We talk about seasons as food, not seasons as seasons in New Orleans. So this one's crawfish season. We also have festival season, and then we have Mardi Gras season. So, you know, that's how we discuss our time of the year, our times of the year back at home. So this one's called Crawfish Season 2013. My mama never drinks beer, but it's part of the sticky weather excitement. Her pale hand dips into the ice, but you know I'd rather a daiquiri, right? Her hands drip orange with crab oil seasoning. She rips the heads off shrimp. We used to fight crawfish, red gladiators clawing clumsily, moving limb over limb through blades of grass. The crabs really do pull each other down in the barrel. They really do. Don't be fooled. They all scream when they hit the boil, scream as they tumble with lemons, potatoes, garlic, and celery. We've screamed before too. We've screamed rolling around in the boil of the city. So a lot of this book, I'm not going to read all the hurricane poems, but a lot of this book is about just experiences with storms, which is just, you know, a thing back at home. It's not really like a disaster all the time. So that was the purpose of this book. And hopefully, you know, some of y'all take the time to pick it up and read it, because that was my purpose, is to just really normalize storms. And I touch on them a lot. I didn't want to read them all tonight though, so that y'all have something to read later if you don't go and buy a book. This one is another Kevin poem, and he gave me the line for this poem that everybody loves. This one is Black Holocaust, and you gave me the awesome line that I'm going to get to eventually. So here we go. Thank you, Kevin. Halves of me strung up in trees like Christmas lights, hung by the neck. I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. Kerosene rains and a night's fire beneath my feet. Every day the world stumps his rubber sole boot into my womb. Mary Turner turns in her grave and screams. I had a dream that someone purchased my life for 5 cents at a pharmacy, my heart a beating son in a mason jar, and he dropped it in the streets on purpose, watched it roll into the gutter, my blood, curdled milk. Blackness, a Star of David on a little kid's skin. Blackness, a whole body tattoo of numbers. All the little black boys play ring around the rosy as they shuffle through posy petals floating from their friends' memorials. Pew, pew, the pews are filled to capacity with Black women and the souls of their children, both born and shaking with the Holy Ghost and shaking with the Holy Spirit to save our sons. The lead chambers bustle with life. This is the Black Holocaust that began on an ocean. Black bodies piled up in prisons, Black bodies piled in prisons like rats, Black bodies piled on street corners like crumpled coal, Black bodies piled, wading through the waters of your consciousness, Black bodies trying to figure out how we too can sing America. This poem is the poem that was used in the preview, so I wanted to make sure I read it to y'all. So this is a metronome that you got the little clip of from the advertisement. So here's the whole thing. Metronome. There are pollen crumbs in my tear ducts when I wake up in the morning. Magnolia petal fingernails graze molasses skin and get stuck. He tells me my thighs are sweet potatoes hanging from my hips, and that when we have sex, the taste of cinnamon and cane sugar. I stick my entire body to his skin. His hair smells like a storm is coming as my fingers play in the ravine on his back. My body rattles like thunder beating a window pane. Somewhere outside, a horn is singing to the sun while double Dutch ropes metronome in the background. Another thing I really like to play with in this book is mythology, Greek mythology, and a little bit of African mythology, but not too much African mythology. I started getting into that much after I wrote this collection. But Greek mythology is really all up and through this one, and especially the Odysseus myth, because it's a traveling myth. And I feel like as New Orleanians, we're constantly traveling. We're going back and forth when we evacuate. So, you know, I saw a big connection between Odysseus's travels on water, trying to get home, and our travels trying to get home, especially after Katrina. Many of us who never made it back are still far away from home and displaced. So I wrote a lot of these poems with that in mind. And this one is called When Odysseus Sailed On. Calypso's crying lasts for at least a week. her tears silk curtains that cascade over our houses. Heaving cries and exhaustive sighs blow the trash from our lawn into the streets. Nola tumbleweeds. Apollo, unsympathetic, withholds the sun from her until she calms. The city is dark. Calypso's morning clothes draped fine satin curving like cursive along the riverbanks. Slipping around the moon, blinding alligator eyes looped through the slide ring of Louis Armstrong's trumpet falls in the windows as it billows by. My lover's eyes play sun in these dark hours. His hands finger the satin as it slowly slides over my thighs. Calypso's cries fade into the night. This next one is called Placage. 1/8 of your consciousness tells you I'm beautiful. That's why lust turns in your eyes like bilge water. You rock me to the soul of my Creole on a dance floor trampled by feet in different kinds of shackles, haggle for a turn to turn a waltz with me. How much did you pay the quadroon? Do you like participating in the cakewalk you used to watch from seats shaded by oak trees, somehow heavy with fruit and reaching up to juggle the sun? I still boom Bache in Congo Square, but we dare to make gumbo filet ya ya. My ma can't know I go. But then I wipe the dust from my feet and press my hair, fair, taupe colored girl, in order to be here with you. How many dead bodies hang around in the back of your mind like wind chimes? Are they loud? Do they sing the songs of women screaming at their slithering roots? The issue with the whip is that you hit yourself on the backswing. I feel how your consequences keloid under your shirt, how just 5 soft fingers on a bending waist can cage me here. I didn't want to start that one with the backstory, but basically, people used to buy mixed race girls to concubine with, and that's how they did it. They went and danced with them for a little while at a party. So you should look it up. It's a pretty interesting story. Skipping around in my book a little bit. Oh, okay, this one. So another purpose of my collection was to force people to speak like us instead of us always being forced to speak like white people. There's a lot of dialogue or dialect in my book. I use a lot of New Orleans accents, and I write in the accent, and you almost can't read the poems without speaking them out loud because it's hard to imagine them in your brain. And the purpose is because people in New Orleans need a voice, and they need to speak. They need to have the space to speak, and I wanted to give them that space to speak. And they're speaking about things that are their real experiences. They're speaking about things that you hear on the news. And I use the accent in order to force my readers to allow the spirit of the people to come through them. So I'm gonna read one of these poems. It's in my full accent. It's written in accent, and it's written on the page in accent. You can see it's a different formatting than the rest of the book, which is purposeful. So they have no title. They're all titleless or untitled. Just a couple months ago, they was telling me they cleaned that shit up over there. Because best believe I told them that shit is an eyesore. That shit's not supposed to be sitting there attracting rats. Got people feeling it's okay to just throw their little trash on the ground. You see all them homeless people climbing through that little thick over there, like they digging to the center of the Amazon. They've been in a shooting up and shit. They tell you on the news and shit that things got so much better around here. But they ain't asked me. I'd have said the world is worse now than it was then before the storm. I'm gonna read one more from the collection, and then I'm gonna do some new stuff. I'm still good on time. Who's timing me? Am I good on it? Cool. Hurricane Isabel, 2003. Moonlight slinks through the curtains, through the border of windows, the spaces between spread fingers and laced legs as an emergency radio statics the darkness. The rhythm of bodies playing shadow puppets in the accidentally romantic candlelight matches perfectly with the silence of the eye. He gasped, and the intake, a wind rise and affect the hurricane. Then a drizzle hits the windows, and the storm lifts the trees. So, Swimming Home, available for purchase. You should go and purchase it if you like what you read. So I'm gonna go and jump to some new things that I've been writing, since I've written the book. I've been really into African culture and history recently and trying to make sure I encapsulate that in my work, especially since a lot of my research is also about African history and culture, spirituality, race, and race relations, and even my own personal history. So I wanted to make sure I start to incorporate more of that into my poetry. So I think that these new pieces really speak to that. This piece is called Sankofa. My mother's skin is 1950s eggshell white like the walls in your ranch-style home they painted to cover the height markings from the last owner's kid. My mother's skin is white like the hushed lies of family ties unacknowledged, white like quelled desires that burn a white man's thighs to the bare white bones. My mother's skin is white, but when she opens her mouth, her vocal cords drip with dark truths of another family's secrets disguised in a pointed nose and a rose garden of blush. My mother's skin is the white American dream manifested in a black nightmare. When I came out the color of soil, I screamed the truth of my ancestors, vocals the sound of tom-toms calling to the white fear of exposure. And in their confusion, they asked silly questions. Are you adopted? Are you babysitting her? Whose is she? It's my little code switch voice, But when I cover up my mouth and the bottom of my nose, the same ugly lie stares back at them. They turn to salt. Us together breaks their psyche, reminds them of that little colored boy that looked so much like grandpa, reminds them of the too long conversation with their maid in the bedroom when mama was gone and how daddy said, I only like them for fun, don't tell anyone. I realize that this is a cycle like so many other things that, like my mama, my child will probably leap from my brown eyes the color of their indiscretions, no matter how dark my man. They love knowing that their love of us is wrapped in lily white innocence when they look at her. And one look at me reminds them that their triple great granddaddy hung back in the slave shacks when my triple great grandmother prayed for his impotence. When I look at my mama, I see 7 generations of women that fought back. Your pissy hat becomes dull in the shadow of slaves. At least one of them dropped glass in the gumbo, tore a master from his throat to his asshole, and that could have only happened in the house. You raped your way to your own destruction, and that's why lust is a deadly sin. Now I stand here with skin the color of soil, the place where all things grow from and where all things go to, a walking Sankofa, and I smile and I laugh and I look just like my mama. This last one, it's looking like I have some more time. If I have more time, I can go back to the book. If I don't have more time, I'm good. It's up to y'all. I'm gonna leave that up to the NCs, the everybody. Cool. So this poem, I actually sometimes have a hard time getting through, so I might need some time to read through it, but it's not that's the sad poems, because it's actually a very joyful poem that I wrote for my cousin Ashley, who is the kindest and happiest person I've ever known in my life. And I wrote it for her because it was her birthday, so that's the first thing I wrote it as a birthday poem. But the second reason I wrote it is because during coronavirus and during all the protests and everything like that, I think it's so radical for Black people to be joyful and to have happiness and to not constantly be sad, because we are painted as sad. That is what our lives are presented as on TV and in magazines and, you know, in the news. We don't get to see happiness as, you know, who we are. And we come from happiness. We come from being able to make nothing out of something. And that is inherently, you know, a way of creating joy and peace in our lives. So I wanted to, you know, write something that spoke to that, or that speaks to that. So this poem is literally called Ode to Joy. I feel like there's a song called that, like a actual, like an opera or something like that. Okay, yeah. Okay, Ode to Joy. Over 200 years ago, Black feet in shackles shuffled the shores they were unsure of. The jingle of chains, a precursor to the jingle of change and coin purses used to purchase us. But still we sang into blue skies and turned the shuffle into a two-step, turned that two-step into a salsa. We are a people of transmutation. We come from a history of radical joy. When whips cracked overhead while blistered hands reached into cotton bulbs, staining them with the first red dye of blood, we sang, there is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. The overseers didn't know how we were gonna overcome, but we were already a choir for freedom. They asked us to sing those songs, but they didn't know we were singing revolution. When was the last time you smiled? I spoke to Joy today. She rode in with her top down. She smelled like a good night. She looked like she'd been eating well. And I had to say, a good goddamn, bitch, where have you been? She said, I've been planting seeds in the turned soil of my soul. I've been weeding the garden of my spirit. I've been tending to the honey pot and coming in the morning. I've been living in today with my feet in tomorrow. I've been inhaling deeply while remembering those who can't breathe. I've been dancing in the streets while the bullet casings turn to rust around my feet. I've decided to live despite the fact they believe it impossible. Do what you need to do with this. Then she drove off in her drop top like a lit ass bitch, and all there was left to do was write this ode to joy. That's the best I've done with getting to that poem. I'm proud of myself for just reading through it all the way without having to take a 2-minute pause. How much time do I have? I'm trying to not go over. I know it's like, I know that I got some East Coast people over here. It's a little late over here. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm respectful of everybody's time. What is my my margin here? Cool. So I have a few more I can read. So while I was doing research for my book, yes, I do, you know, y'all research for our poems. I was doing research for this, and I was researching what the state bird meant. And I don't think the people who picked our state bird really cared. I think they just thought that there were a lot of them and just like, that's our state bird. It's pelican, but actually the pelican has a lot of meaning in Christianity, which is strange. You would never think that they would pick that bird for Christian allegory, but it has some meaning. So I wanted to, you know, write about it a little bit. And I wrote this poem called Oh Mighty Pelican. And then I picked some stuff from the armory. And I don't know why I put this here because I can't pronounce half these words. I'm going to try. So I'm going to read this little part at the beginning first. So this is from the Armory of Birds, where they talk about the significance of the different birds to, to like things. So they said the pelican, then said the pelican, excuse me, when my breast be slain with my blood, I then revive. Scripture doth record the same died our Lord and rose from death to life. So the pelican has a red portion on its breastbone and the breast feather. So it looks like it's old blood. It looks like it was, like it had been bled on purpose. And also when they're feeding their young, it looks like they're feeding from the breast area, not from the actual mouth. So it looks like they're feeding. It sounds gruesome, but you can see how they get the Christian allegory out of it a little bit because of the Jesus got, transmutation. So this poem is called O Mighty Pelican. By blood of pelican, spilled like rubies from its chest, we are renewed again and again, drinking from the chalice of its breastbone, mixing it in brew, sprinkling it in the jambalaya, Bloody Marys, hurricanes, drunk off the pelican blood, hosing down our streets with it, watering our flowers with it, baptizing our children in it. Father in heaven, may we all be cleansed by the saving blood of the pelican. Ring the last drops onto my tongue. Let it slip a river down my smile line. Let it cascade over my breast. Let it pool in my belly button where my love can sop it up like gravy. So this one is called Vacant. And when I was writing this, I was reflecting. I write a lot about God in this text because I was reflecting a lot about how I felt at the time. Even as a child, and I probably wasn't really thinking about these things like so like concretely. Like as an adult, thinking about my child brain as an adult, I don't have metacognitively thinking about my past. Is that a good way of saying that? I don't think that I really thought that God was really there. Even though like now I'm cool with God. Me and God are chill. We have a good relationship. But I think at the time I probably wasn't really happy with him. Well, I think of God as a she. I just use the word just because I'm conditioned that way. But I think of God as a she or a genderless. But I don't think I was very happy with God at the time. But I didn't understand it and it didn't make any sense. So this was called Vacant. Within the house, the silence of God wafts in from the windows. There's a faint smell of burnt wood on the wind. The house down the street waves its tattered curtains at me, almost asking me to come inside. I do. The crunching of glass cracks like ice in a cup, and on the walls, a water line sits at about 9 feet, holding the wallpaper up. A soft brush of black like a plague on the walls creeps up towards the ceiling. On a mantle, a collage of memories fold uncaringly into one another, huddled for warmth. I think I want to end on this one. Are we okay with that? Cool. This one is called Navigation. I think it speaks well of us, speaks for the journey of the book, the journey of people in New Orleans. I think it speaks for all of those things very well. And also the journey of the mythical characters I like to speak about throughout the narrative. 1. Calypso holds globs of seawater in her hands, looks in them for signs of Odysseus drifting nearby. She sees his boat tossing about in the waves, sailors waltzing with the current. 2. Odysseus wrangled the wind like a regular cowboy, corralled the currents, lassoed waves, bucking ocean mustangs, and hooked them to the front of his ship to chariot himself to his wife who waited on the shore. 3. The sun struggled through the rain, tangled in the many lines cast from the clouds. Eventually, it parted them like a beaded curtain. Odysseus heaved a sigh that relieved his shoulders from the pressure. Calypso heaved a sigh that blew him home.
Oh, Kayla, you took me somewhere. You took me to up. You took me down. You took me sideways. You took me to a journey of your reading. It's something special. I enjoyed it. Who have enjoyed our feature right there? Get some love for Kayla, everybody. Get some snaps. Get some air halves of her. She brung it out.
Thank you.
So for what we do for Kayla and all the features, I'm gonna do to copy and paste her information. I want us to look at it. She has a Venmo account. She have a PayPal account. Girl, poets need to get paid. I want you to tap up on her, send some money to her Venmo, send it to her PayPal, send her some love, some donations. She take dollar bills, $2 bills, $3 bills, $4 bills, $5, $10. Let's make sure Kayla deserve to get paid in this coronavirus. COVID-19 was good, fam. I know I told you my poets don't stop doing their thing. Our poets don't stop doing it. So all the audience, Facebook Live, Instagram, Zoom, all the participation, send all the love, all that energy, all the money for Kayla. She rocked it tonight. Woo! I gotta drink some water right now. Oh man.
As a poet, there's never a shortage of ways to pay me.
Thank you, Kayla. Thank you. Blessing the mic. Give her some love right back at her. She deserves it. She deserves it.
Thank you.
Deserve it. That's Mad Mouth right there, love. That's what we do. We contribute. Yo, Arthur sending you some love. Maya sending some love. All the participations are sending you love to the East Coast over there.
Everybody was amazing. Everybody was amazing tonight.
Thank you. We're gonna get should I read a poem? Cause this next artist, cause she did something killer for ladies' night, but I want to spit just to get this next poet warmed up, cause she got to do it. I bless mics everywhere as I travel. I had listened to myself, hear myself, feel myself. But wherever the mic is at, I have to bless it. I have to touch it. I got to listen. I got to feel it. I got to scripture. I got to write. I have to listen to my own mics. My blood, my poems are not something with my own true ground line. I see things no one else can really see. I vision something no one else can vision. See, these words, they really don't want to be messed with. They really don't want me to just feel it. They want the element. I have to go in. I have to see it. I have to bleed through. I travel in poetry around the world to Los Angeles because I've been doing this game since I was 18, son. Because I love it. No matter what I deal with, my insecurities is my own true skeletons in my own closet. My blood goes to my dirt in my own truth. But these words come from passion from my heart. It comes from passion when I do. It comes from something I have to deliver. I travel with these words. From the Poetry Lounge, from Freedom of Speech Thursdays, from Keeping It Real Podcast, from Mad Poetry Readings, from Los Angeles Poet, from New Earth. This is what I've been doing since I was 18. I don't drive a car, but I get on the bus and tap on it. Because I love it. I don't do it for the fame of the fortune. I don't let my ego take the best out of me. Because this is what I deliver. This is what I bring. This is what I feel. It's poetry. Get some love for that one, everybody. Get some snaps for right here. For the next artist, she got the smoothest voice in the poetry game. Smoothest voice in the poetry game. She killed it last Saturday. She was the host of Ladies Night, and she just brung it. She's filling in. She fit into D'Amica's place, but she's tagged in and killed it. We want to send some love, some awesome stuff for Maya Alexander. I get some love for over here. Get some love for my co-host right here.
Thank you so much, Ideas. And thank you, Mad Mouth Poetry Team, for being the best group ever. Thank you, everyone, for coming out and supporting us tonight. And Kayla, you fucking killed it. Thank you for representing.
There you go. Get some love for Kayla.
Sorry, I know we're moving away from profanities, but that was well intentioned. So tonight, I kind of have a mix of some older work and some new work, which new meaning like fresh off of Google Docs. So this is going to be a little trial run. Right now, I'm going to read an older poem just to get us started and situated, though. So I'm going to start off with You're Angry. You're angry because you gave me a gun that I turned into a pen and wrote words like bullets that you could barely comprehend, yet you still felt their impact as they pierced through your skin and tore through your heart, shaming you again. Thank you. Fun fact, a lot of my poems are hella short too, so I'll let you guys know how short they're gonna be. So the next one's called In the Forest, which actually is a part of the same collection as You're Angry. In the forest. In the forest, the bear brawls for my honeypot that it so eagerly sought. Those grasping growls silence my silent pleas. That vigor-blind bear pries the pot I tried to protect and doesn't savor a single drop. It's my honeypot and it's mine to share, but not with this beast who does not care. Thank you. All right, so now that we started off with some shorter, older ones, we're gonna start off with one of the longest pieces I've written in a while, brand new. This has been a kind of like a reflection poem because I suffer from PTSD. I had an episode where half of my face was numb for a month. So that was really fun, waking up and thinking you had a stroke. And it turns out it's just, you know, trauma replaying in your head. So that was an interesting experience for me to really sit down and like focus on my mental health during this quarantine. So bizarre experience, but very thankful for it nonetheless. So it doesn't have a title, so I'm just gonna go straight in. I have the soldier's disease, a mind like a landmine, a bullet-binged body still riddled with aftershock, and a section of sentiments facing an identity crisis. There are plenty of pills, yet at the same time, not enough. Not enough sleep, but plenty of nightmares of the enemy invading my home port. And honestly, how can you eat the powdered eggs, sausage, and perpetual cereal while the stabbing of fork to plate and plate to fork sound like demonic deities singing along to the acoustics of AK-47s? I'd like to know because according to the FDA, I haven't been eating correctly for over 5 years. When I was diagnosed with my disease, I traded in my blueberry uniform and dressed for a funeral every day. I aspired to be the forgotten sailor cap off the coast of Okinawa, far away, far, far away, drifting further and further from Japan's Pacific coast, because I'd rather face a tsunami than to touch those shores or to hear the laughter of the waves crashing against the cliffs where those off-duty sailors jumped for entertainment because they had memorized their rank, but have forgotten their names. They honestly were just stupid kids just trying to have fun during a tsunami, but how does that look from the tsunami's perspective, or mine? I've looked at my dog tags and thought about swallowing them. At times they waved at my uvula, but those damn SERE courses always kick in and pull them right back out of my throat. I'm told to do something creative so I can bandage bullet wounds without bleeding out. But how can you sit down and write when you can barely lay down and sleep? When you only have enough brain power to maybe count how many showers you took that day? 2, 3, you know it's more. But I'm a soldier, so I persevere. After all, what I do is a labor of love, And when I say this is a labor of love, right now it's more labor than love. But damn it, I'm still madly in love. So I'll labor for that love until love is no longer a labor. Because how can I really be a soldier if I won't die for myself? If I won't shield a grenade for myself? If I can't carry myself off the battlefield? Because no woman left behind. Thank you. Ooh, got the heart pumping a little bit. All right, let's go to, all right, kind of high emotion. So I'm gonna kind of go with a middle finger poem, if you will. Actually pull my hair back from this one. Yeah, let's go. All right, so this one's called The Sweetest Treat. And another one I actually wrote recently too. The Sweetest Treat. It'll happen one day where my first morning breath won't be wasted cursing your name. It's definitely not today, but one day. And speaking of which, fuck you. One day, one day, one day. And on that day, I won't dream of our finale on stage where my revised script tells the tale of Cordelia carving the lies from Lierre's tongue and branding her birthright in his blood, because honestly, that's the only way that story should have ended. One day, one day, one day, one day my truth will reach you. It may ambush your eyes or tunnel through your ears, but it will reach you. Your lips can slander and your hands can destroy, but you can never tarnish the beauty created by the jazz dance of my fingers. Because you know what? Swine don't know what to do with pearls, and that will be enough. Thank you. That one felt good to say out loud. All right, so we're gonna do a little flashback to what I consider to be my first poem. Yeah, I'm just gonna go into it. It's called Tapestry. I want a tapestry woven of thread, of fiery scarlets and violet hues, so that I may use it to shield my bed. And you said to me, nothing less would do. We toiled with united hands and hearts, and eventually our minds were lost. We experienced a world filled with art, but too close to the spindle the threads crossed. So our clumsy hands knotted our piece, tears welled up as from all the work we had done. Nothing could be saved, our time had now ceased. As tears fell, we cut the threads one by one. Separately, we picked up the loose threads, knowing that ours would never cover my bed. Thank you. How am I doing for time, by the way? I forgot to click my timer. We good? All right. Get that one. Okay, we're gonna do this one next. And this one is actually another recent one I just wrote. So this one's actually very rough. But yeah, I'll perform it. So it's titled, Do You Remember? Do you remember when you used to tell me that every cigarette I lit is an hour less that I have with you? Pretty sure that's not how it goes, but I got the message, and I'll tell you what. I received it like a bouquet of foxglove and hemlock, as blinding as the berry sunset pouring into my car during those long trips to Slidell. In return, I thought I'd gifted your words with Satsumas, honey glazed with sweet sorrows, but the nicotine etched in my lungs soured them into calamundious commitments that I should have known that I wouldn't keep. Because not even seconds after I handed you that basket of dubious delicacies, I was already halfway to the bench on Ferret Street, right between Tulane and Loyola, smacking a pack of Camels against my palm. I thought I had inhaled the nicotine, knowing I was waiting for cancer's RSVP. But now that I'm older, maybe I was just passing the time, waiting for you to leave. Thank you. That's it. I'm gonna yield the rest of my time. Thank you so much, everyone.
Oh, yeah. Yo, man, that was sick. Yo, I got a song for you right now. Hope you know about this one.
Sick.
Yo.
Oh, yo, that's my theme song, dude. Yeah.
Yes, you know it, man.
Yeah. Yep, that's it.
Yo.
Dude, every time I perform, I want that song to follow me afterwards.
Yes, you know, I'm gonna get with you. I'm a nerd. Like I say, Martina, we all real in our own good way. See, I like to keep it real over here. Yo, Maya, beautiful pieces, beautiful poem. That's what we love right here. What do? We contribute to Mad Mouth. We do special for everyone on this mic, on this Zoom. You know, but right now, I want to put another shout out to a great poet. This dude got words. I hope he got words right now. I'm gonna call you out. He's right here. Let's get some love from another host, Arthur. Right, everybody, get some love for Arthur right now. I know he got some words of encouragement. Let's get some words for Arthur, man. I know this is up on your chest, man. Woo! How you feeling, Arthur?
Feeling good, Ideas. How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm on it. I'm on it.
I don't know if this is the space for me, man. Like, let me ask the crowd, like, do you want us to continue or?
Hey, man, go with the flow and flow like a butterfly and sting like a motherfucking bee right now. Let's get real.
Okay. All right, I'll read you guys one poem. Okay. Okay.
Take your time, Arthur.
All right. Painting. I've been writing painting poems, paintings made up in my head. This is painting sequence 7, childhood. I did not know Farsi, the smell of a defeated country hanging off my language. Kids at school looked at me and I was shy. I was tripping over the grammar on my tongue. I did not know beauty, since it had a small nose, since it had a hairless body, since it had blonde hair, since it did not have an accent. This is how I learned to hold it together. The language of the colonies became a wardrobe for my radiation, how I turned acid into symbol. This is how I turned the bite of police dogs into the blood marks of my blossom. What I wanted was happiness, an inner voice singing at a burial, to feel music in the language of my asylum. Less blood, more lips, less knife grazing a skull, less hate naming a boy, less teacher, more guidance. What I wanted was laughter that did not break my nose. What I wanted was living in my bones. Thank you.
Arthur, man, thank you, blessing it. Get some love, my boy Arthur. Get some love to snap some claps right here. That's what we do. Yo, I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna drop another pin drop for my future Kayla. Make sure you pay my future. Make sure she gets some pay right now. Make sure she gets some money in her pocket. Poets need some money right now. Poets need money right now. So right now, I'm gonna really wanna share something really light and tell everybody thank you for sharing your art. Thank you for participating right here. This is special. We are doing something so amazing, great work on week 5 was amazing. What you guys feeling on week 5 tonight? The way you feeling it? Are you really was feeling it? Oh, can't wait. I can't wait for week 6. That's what we want. Mouth is every side. Different futures, different poets, different energy, different love, different support. We do this for us. I know this is hard times, wow, and you want to be around each other, but I felt everybody's energy. That's how gift I've been doing. It was so much a privilege and fortune to be you guys' host. And thank you for Katrina. Thank you for Miles. Thank you for Maya. For art, and thank you for the queen Kayla right here, who drops so much knowledge right now. We gotta still continue doing this. Shout out to the other two hosts. Shout out to Cyrus. Shout out to Ruth. Shout out to Jamaica. I hope you have learned so much tonight. So it's 9:14. We usually end it at 9:30, but I'm gonna keep the meeting going. Everybody can unmute. Everybody can enjoy themselves and just keep this party going. The night's not over, but I'm keeping it real right now. Come on, Dr. Dre. Thank you for coming out to my mouth. This is our time, but chill right now. You gotta go. Where you gonna go? You stuck at home, everybody. You stuck at home. You ain't going nowhere. But you can party with I did. Party in my mouth. I told you, you might can't go to the clubs. Can't go to Cyanide Fever. But I brought the club to Mad Mouth, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. You guys can welcome to unmute. You can freestyle. You can chat. The floor is yours, everybody. Thank you to come out to Mad Mouth. And you.
Thank you, Adid, for making this the most hype Zoom reading I've ever been.
Thank you.
The whole DJ flick.
I know, man. I have to bring that energy tonight.
Get me a DJ for my Zoom classes.
Yeah, I'm a DJ, host, educator, spoken word, poem, everything. I'm everything. Got everything. I told COVID wasn't gonna end. We wasn't gonna end nothing. I said, forget this. I'm bringing the DJ stuff.